Primal brain in a female, if a man walks away, rejects her in any way, primal brain is straight to, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. My children are going to die. We're all going down. We're all going to die. It's silly consciously, subconsciously, and primally, it makes perfect sense. Hey, you guys. So I have been vividly aware this week that there are things that you can learn in relationships that you just cannot learn anywhere else. I firmly believe that relationships are a spiritual school, and they are extremely sacred because they show us things about ourselves that they reveal you to you. And as this mirror starts happening in your relationships, you can see who you are and what you're doing and all of the things. So, one topic specifically on my mind lately is attachments. I've been reading the book Attached. Oh my gosh. I just started it a couple days ago. It's amazing. So I'm sure I'll be making some more videos about that. But these fears that we have of being abandoned and the way that we deal with them, the way we either try to prevent the pain or try to, right, with a anxious attachment, it's like we just want to hold on so tight that really it ends up pushing people away. Avoidant is like, I don't know if I trust this, so I'll push it away. Both styles, there's also anxious avoidant, both styles desperately want connection. They're just afraid. They're either afraid of being abandoned or afraid of it not being what it's all cracked up to be and ruining their freedom somehow, right? So there's a lot of things that when you're just living single, living alone, they don't really pop up. Your mind is kind of made up like this is how it goes. When someone steps into your life that you truly care about and are excited about, that's when these types of issues pop up. The beautiful thing is all of these things can be healed. So I do something called the compassion key. It's an age regression technique. It's like a guided meditation where you drop in and you see your past and can resolve some of those core wounds so that you're not so afraid, so anxious. I'm far more anxious. I'm very, very anxious in relationships. And I've been watching myself this week almost like bird's eye view of like, oh, that's really a big problem. It's not helping. Yeah, and it's okay. It's okay because as I've dropped into some of my core memories, I'm watching myself, I'm watching the little girl inside of me like, oh, I understand you. I get it. I get what you're feeling. I get why you're feeling that way. And it's so fun to go in and clear up some of those things. So to explain some of those different dynamics, I kind of did a little bit, but I'll dive in a little bit deeper. If you're more anxious, oftentimes in your childhood, there was like a caregiver that was loving sometimes and not other times. Like it would be this yo-yo. And you never knew what you were going to get. They were either open and loving, caring, doting, and then all of a sudden very closed off, pushing you away. So you developed this irregular, I don't know what I'm going to get feeling. And oftentimes a person with that type of childhood will cling because they don't know how long it will last that someone will care. They don't know how long it will last that they will have the safety that they need. So in relationships, when there's not a stable ground, they will become so obsessed they can't think about anything else. And their nervous system is so dysregulated. They're hyper focused on making sure they're safe. And the way that they think that they'll be safe is by having someone stay, right? Primally, when we needed safety, we had to be with people, right? We needed hunters and gatherers and defenders and, all of the things. We were in tribes, we were in community. And that primal instinct hasn't really gone anywhere. We still have that in us of a need for connection. To have a stable person in our life actually gives us the ease to focus on other things, to go out and to do business, to explore the world. When there is a regulated, safe partner by our side, our nervous systems drop into relaxation and we just do our thing, right? They can come and they can go a little bit, and it's not a big deal because we know we're safe. When you grew up in a home, or if someone has grown up in a home where there was just not safety at all, like the primary caregivers were violent mentally, emotionally, spiritually, in whatever way, oftentimes people will develop a attachment style of avoidant. It's like nobody's safe. And it's really hard to trust that you will be okay if people come close to you. And the more close they get, the harder you push them away. And unfortunately, there's a lot of loneliness there as well. And it's hard to break through those barriers and to trust and to let someone love you. Oftentimes, anxious and avoidant play off of each other and meet up, hook up, right? So they play off of each other. The anxious sees the avoidant, and it's like running and chasing. The avoidant pushes further and harder, which makes the anxious bigger. There's a lot of healing that's happening in this realm right now. And I think one of the most healing parts for me is just becoming aware of it and learning about it. And as I'm educating myself, I can see what I'm doing. It's like bird's eye. See what you can see it. And the more you see it and the more you develop coping mechanisms, the better off and the healthier you can get. And then the more you can get into a safe attachment. What do they call it? Secure. The more that you can get into a secure attachment with another person. We all, to the core of us, are meant to be connected. We're meant to have relationships that feel safe and secure. We're always going to long for it. Many of us have had so much heartbreak and so much trauma. It's really hard to figure out how to do it and to relate to other people in healthy ways. So if you have more of an anxious attachment, here's a few tips if you need them. What are some things that I've been learning? How to slow down, how to breathe. Oftentimes, we get so excited thinking that our safety is in other people. And to start reminding yourself and learning, my safety's in me. My safety's in me. What I need, everything I need is right here. Everything I need to be happy and healthy is right here. Doing some breathing and then being able to verbally express feelings in ways that are just honest, just raw and honest. And getting to the core of why you're so scared, facing those fears of why am I so scared? What do I think is going to happen? Starting like journaling, asking questions, and taking time to let go, to redirect yourself to hobbies, to things that you love, to things that matter to you, to other people that are secure in your life, that are safe and that are stable. And as you regulate your nervous system, you can then make better choices of what is right for me, what do I need? So that would be my recommendation for someone with anxious attachment who almost go into panic mode. I don't know if this is totally true or not. I would say I have more people in my life that are female that have anxious attachment and more men in my life that have avoidant attachment. And I don't know what that is. I think when we go back to the core of us, and if you go back to primal, if a man walked away from a woman, primal days, right? There goes her food, there goes her shelter, there goes her safety for her and her children. There goes a lot of things. I mean, she's facing literal death for her and for her babies if this man walks away. And even though our evolution has changed, a woman can consciously know, I am safe. I have a house. I have food. I have everything I need to take care of me and my babies. I have it all. You can consciously think that. But we go to primal brain. Primal brain in a female, if a man walks away, rejects her in any way, primal brain is straight to, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. My children are going to die. We're all going down. We're all going to die. It's silly, consciously, subconsciously, and primally, it makes perfect sense. So I think there's all sorts of different song and dances that we do to try and make sure the man doesn't walk away, right? It's just primal, like our nervous system. If you know very much about the brain, when you get senses coming into the body, they travel eyes, ears, nose, ear, mouth, whatever, hands. You feel energy. All of it is information for the brain. But the way that it travels through the nervous system, and the very first stop is primal brain. It is animal brain. It's down at the base. Very first thing, point blank, is it safe? If the answer is no, I am not safe here, you go into instant reaction mode, right? This is fight, flight, freeze, fawn, instant. Like, imagine you're walking, there's a bear in the woods. You don't have time to like consciously be like thinking of whatever. It is instant, it is primal, it is reaction mode. If I am not safe, I'm here. I'm animal brain. Okay? So oftentimes, any sort of rejection, male rejection to female, and it can go the other way around as well, but I'm just kind of doing general blanket here of what I see often in me, in my clients, in family, friends, all of the things. It's that man starts walking away, right? He wants his freedom. He wants to make sure like he's got his shit going, all of that, right? So nervous system, instant, all of this is happening. Anxious attachment, right? So to deal with that, it's to slow down, to breathe, to say, I am safe. Remind yourself, I am safe. I am safe. My babies are safe. My family is safe. My home is safe. My entire world I've created is 100% safe. There is nothing wrong. Food, shelter, all the things, I have it, right? The only thing is like this internal, at that point, what are the messages and belief systems? What are you saying to yourself? Is it because I'm not enough? No. There could be a whole myriad of other options going on of what another person's going through. They've got stuff going, whatever. Okay? So slow down, breathe, let that nervous system regulate. If you have to go paint, go for a walk, go do whatever you've got to do. Play games, do your thing. Get your nervous system regulated so that this messaging can pop out of primal brain and can start coming out and making sense. When you can start making sense of it, and if you need something, a session where you go in and drop into, primal core wounds, things that happen in your childhood, abandonment, things that have happened to you, go in and clear up some of that trauma so that next time when those messages go to primal brain, is it safe? It's like, yes, this is safe. We're fine. And then you can start making conscious decisions of whether or not certain people are good to have in your life, like those kind of things, you know? So that would be my advice to someone feeling very anxiously attached to someone and getting in dysregulated states. Avoidant, I would say a lot of the fear is, if this person comes in, how are they going to derail me? And is that safe? So it's like a different type of safety, right? If this person comes into my life, what are the demands? What are the things I'm going to have to give up? What are the things I'm going to lose? Are they safe mentally, emotionally, spiritually? Is this what I want? It's more of this again, safety, because oftentimes there's a lot of trauma there as well, but in just a slightly different way. And as I read more, maybe I'll share more about that. But one of the best things to do, I would say, is again, do some breathing, do some regulating, go back and heal childhood traumas and things like that as you can, but also just learning to, when the nervous system's regulated, to sit back and look at someone and say, are these qualities of this person safe? And is this something that I want in my life? And learning to trust. And no one can make those decisions for you. Everybody's flawed and everybody's imperfect. And there's always going to be something with literally everyone. So it's just learning to decide what you truly want. And I wish I could speak more to that. I don't feel equipped to. So I'm just going to kind of leave it at that. But I truly believe that these relationship dynamics, especially of anxious and avoidant, are coming up and are very prominent right now because it's time to heal them. I think attachment styles absolutely can be healed. I've watched them heal. I've been a part of watching my own self doing the healing work and watching things release and like kind of chiropractic adjusting emotional beliefs of being enough and feeling worthy of the type of love that I'm looking for. If you are struggling and in this dynamic of the push and the pull and the constant unsettling feeling in your stomach, the sucker punch gut feeling in your stomach of rejection or of fear, of lack of safety in relationships, I highly recommend you set up a session with me. So I work with people over Zoom. We can do groups. I do a lot of group sessions where we do clearings of attachment, traumas and wounds, abandonment stuff. So feel free to join group sessions, or if you'd like a one-on-one, feel free to connect with me. As always, hit the like button, subscribe, and follow along for the ride.